Okay, so today we're going to work on lesson number 5, which is going to be pyramids and cylinders for the first part. We're also going to cover spheres and cones. Okay, we're going to work each figure separately. Okay, right now we're going to work on pyramid, okay, area and volume. Okay, we're going to work on cylinders next. Then we're going to do another lesson for spheres and a fourth lesson for cones. Okay. Now, all of these lessons, all of these topics can be found on your books on page 43. Okay, remember that under this link you'll find, under this video you'll find the link with some extra exercises so that you can practice. Okay? You also have some more exercises on your books in case you want to continue practicing, but the ones that are under this video are the ones that you will need to hand in. Okay. Now, let's work on the exercise that we can find on page 43 on your books, okay, about pyramids. Okay? Now, each pyramid can be different, okay, because it's going to depend on the sides of the base. Okay? In this case, they're giving us an example that we need to find the area of a pyramid, but it's a square pyramid, okay, with sides 6 meters and a height of 4 meters. Okay? Now, the first thing we need to do is draw the figure. Okay? That way we'll have a better idea on what we are looking for. Okay? If you notice here, we have the pyramid with a square base. Okay? And if you notice, since we have a square base, that means it has 4 sides. Okay? So when we find the area of this pyramid, remember that the area of a pyramid is the area of the base plus the area of the laterals. Okay, and in this case we have 4 laterals. Okay, because we have 4 sides. Okay, this one from the front, from the side. This one is from the front. This one is from the side, and the one on the back. Okay, so that means that we have 4 sides. Okay, because we have a square base. Okay, if we were to have a triangular base, that means that we're going to have 3 faces. Okay. Now, since we have a square base, okay, we know what type of triangle as well. They're going to be isosceles triangles because they have, okay, 2 sides that are similar and 1 side that is different. Okay, so we're going to use an isosceles triangle area formula to find the area of the sides, and then we just need to multiply it by 4 because we have 4 sides. Okay, so let's work on finding the area of the base first. Okay, so we have a square base, and we know that the sides of the square is 6 meters. Okay, so since we know it's a square, we know that the sides are all equal. And what is the area of a square? Square side to the square. Okay, so let's work on the area of the base first. Okay, so area of the base is going to be L to the square because it's the sides, one of the sides, to the square. Okay, so we have that one of the sides is 6 meters. Okay, so we need to put this to the square, and that means that we have that the area of the base alone is 36 meters square. Okay, we already have the area of the base. Okay, now what we need to work on is the area of the lateral so that we can multiply it by 4 and then we can add it by 36. Okay, now let's work on the area of a lateral. Okay, now the area of the lateral, okay, we're going to need this separate figure. Okay, why do we need this separate figure? Okay, because here we have the height of the pyramid. Okay, they already gave us the height. It's 4. Okay, so this side, we already have it. Okay, so we have the height of the total pyramid is 4. Now, to find this side, which is letter G, okay, why do we need to find letter G? Because this is here. Look at this side. Okay, this is the triangle that is formed on any side. Okay, so if we have this lateral side, this letter G is going to be a line on this face. Okay, Only on the face, not on the total figure. Okay? Okay? So we need to find this, which is going to be the height. Okay? Well, technically the height of this triangle. Okay? But that's what we need. Okay? We need to find this side. Okay? So that we can find the area of that lateral. Why? Because remember the formula of the isosceles triangle. Okay? Now, how do we find M? M is easy. Okay? Because this is one of the sides of the square base. Okay? So if we know that the side of the square base is 6, how much is M? M is the half. Okay? Of the side. Sorry. M is going to be the side divided by 2. Okay? And we know that the side is 6 divided by 2. So we know that M is 3. Okay? Let's remember. We already have this H. Okay? Because it's the height of the pyramid. Okay? But we're going to put it and name it H. And this one is going to be named M. Because this is half the distance between one of the sides of the square. Okay? And remember, we need G. Okay, we're not looking for M. M is going to help us. H is going to help us, but what we need is G. Okay, because G is the height of one of the height, of the isosceles triangle, and that's what we're looking for. We're looking for the height of this triangle, so that we can find the area. And once we have that area, we multiply it by 4, and we add it to the area of the base. Okay. So now we have M and we have H. Okay? What we need is G. Okay? So if we already have M and we already have H, how do we find G? This is a right triangle, so we can use the Pythagorean theorem. Okay, so that means that we have G squared is equal to the H squared plus M squared. Okay? So G squared, H is 4, so 4 squared, plus M is 3, 3 squared. Okay, so that is 16 plus 9, G squared. And we have that G squared is 25, and we apply the square root on both sides, and we have that G is 5. Okay? So, why do we need this G? Let's remember. This G is the height of the isosceles triangle that we have on one of the sides. Okay? And this square pyramid has 4 of these isosceles triangles. Okay, so that is why we need G. They give us the height of the original pyramid so that we can find G. We have M because we have the sides of the square pyramid. Okay, of the square base, sorry. Okay, so having M and having H, we can find G. Now that we have the height of this triangle, okay, we can work on the area of that triangle. Okay, so let's work on the area of the lateral. Okay, first we need to put how many laterals do we have. That's why we put 4. If we were to have a triangular base, that means that we have 3 laterals. So that number would be 3. If we were to have a pentagonal base, that means that we're going to have 5 laterals. Okay, but in this case, we only have 4. Okay, so that means that we need to multiply the area of this triangle by 4. Okay, so once we have these values, okay, let's multiply. What is the formula for the area of a triangle? Okay, base times height divided by 2. Okay, so of this triangle, what is the height? Okay, G. Okay, and what is the, well, base times height, and we have the height, so what would be the base? The base would be 5. Okay? Sorry, the height would be 5. And we have this, okay, which is 6. How much is the side of this triangle? How much is this distance? 6, right? And we know that this red line, which would be the height of that triangle, is h, okay, and that h is 5. Okay, so we have 4 times 5 times 6, okay, and all of this is divided by 2. Why 2? Because remember the formula for the area of a triangle, okay, base times height divided by 2, okay, but we have to multiply that by 4 because we have 4 isosceles triangle faces, okay. So 5 times 6 is 30, okay, divided by 2, and all of this times 4. 30, okay, divided by 2 is 15, and 15 times 4 is 60 meters square. Okay, this is how we get the area of the lateral, okay, because we have 1 lateral, 2 laterals, 3 lateral, and the one on the back. We have 4. Okay, and remember, this is the base, okay, and 1 is the height. The height is the one that we got with the Pythagorean theorem, okay, this height, okay, and the side, which is this one, which would be the base of that triangle, we already have it from the beginning, which is 6 meters. Okay, and remember, areas are to the square. Okay, so now for the area of the pyramid, we have area of the base plus area of the lateral. Okay, so that means that we need to add 36 meters square plus 60 meters square. And that gives us a total of 96 meters square. And that's where we get our answer. Okay? Let's review how we got the area of this pyramid. First, we need to get the area of the base. Then we need to add it by the area of the lateral. Okay? Now, since we have 4 laterals, 1, 2, 3, and the one on the back, 4, okay, that means that we need to multiply it by 4 here. Okay, but that is on the second step. The first step, area of the base. This is pretty simple. This is the area of a square. Okay, so if we take it separately, we just have a normal square, and one of the sides is 6. What is the area of a square? Side to the square. Okay, that is where we get 36 meters square here. Okay, now when we take the lateral, we're talking about an isosceles triangle. Okay, so that is why we need to take this separate figure. Okay, because we need to calculate the height. We already have it. Okay, they give it at the beginning. We already know m, okay, because this is half the distance of 6. Okay, one of the sides. Okay, and this is the height of this side, which would be an isosceles triangle. That's why we need it. Okay, and that's why it's important to remember the Pythagorean theorem. Okay, because how do we get one of the sides of a right triangle? Okay, g to the square equals h to the square plus m to the square. Now, what if we have this g and we need the h? Same thing. We substitute here and then we solve. Okay, so whatever side we need of this triangle, we just substitute the other values and solve. Okay, so why do we need g? Because it's the height of this triangle. 5 meters. Never forget the units. Okay, so it's 5 meters. Okay, so now that we have this triangle, the height of this triangle, if we put it into a different figure, we're going to have this triangle. And we're going to have that the height is this, which is 5. We know that this side is what? Okay? This side is this. 6. Okay? And this is how we calculate this. 5 times 6, which is the height times the base, divided by 2. Okay, so that's where we get these values. 5 times 6, base times height. Okay? Then we divide it by 2 because that's the formula of a triangle. And then we multiply it by 4 because that's how many sides we have on the pyramid. Okay? Then we just solve and we have this. Okay? So now that we have the area of the base and the area of the lateral, then we just add them. 36 is the area of the base. 60 is the area of the lateral. And combined, they give us 96 meters square. Okay? So, this concludes the area of a pyramid with 4 sides, okay? Because it's a square pyramid. Okay, so under this link, under this video, you'll find a link with 2 exercises of this type so that you can work them and remember to hand them in when we come back to class. Okay, on the next lesson, we'll work on volume of a pyramid.